9 years after the global zombie outbreak, as global temperatures plummeted, cities entered their own ice age. The zombies unable to withstand the bitter cold had nearly all perished. 9 years later, I too had grown up. Ted was our only neighbor, but in those 9 years, we never truly spoke. By day, Ted went out hunting. By night, he sat by his radio, talking to himself, hoping for a response. But no one ever answered. Fortunately, he had a dog to keep him company. We lived mere steps apart, yet worlds apart. Ted was grubby, but content meat on his plate every day. Meanwhile, our days were monotonous. The food was always so hard to swallow, canned beans mixed with canned tomatoes over rice. Never enough to fill us up. But whenever I saw Ted return with a full haul, I envied him deeply. Yet Damon kept us apart. I had to sneak around when playing with Ted's dog, and Ted saw it all. Though he couldn't face me, he always thought of me. Every year on my birthday, he'd play Happy Birthday on the radio. But those days couldn't last forever. One night, eerie sounds woke me. Peering out the window, I saw a monster. Terrified, I lay awake all night. The next morning, Damon found me curled up under the bed. I described the creature to him. He dismissed it as a nightmare. Zombies had vanished long ago. They couldn't possibly return. That day, Ted went to the mall as usual to gather supplies. He too saw a monster devouring animal carcasses. Realizing something was wrong, he grabbed the dog and ran. The monster spotted them. Fortunately, they managed to close the iron gate in time. But the monster didn't stop. Ted fled on his sled, clutching the dog. During the escape, Ted kept looking back, worried it was still tracking them. He failed to notice the obstacle ahead. The sled flipped instantly. When Ted awoke, the monster stood before him. It didn't attack immediately. Instead, it lunged when the sled made a sound. Ted understood in that instant. Just then, a gunshot rang out. It drew the monster's attention. Damon was teaching me to shoot. We didn't know the gunshot had drawn the monster. Ted desperately fired warning shots, shouting for us to get inside. Damon immediately grew alert, but before he could react, Ted was knocked to the ground. The out-of-control sled nearly crashed into Damon and me. Damon stood up and aimed to shoot to save Ted, but hesitated to pull the trigger. He watched helplessly as Ted was bitten. At the critical moment, the dog saved Ted. It fought the monster but died in the struggle. Ted seized the opportunity to fire his gun, driving the monster away. Overcome with grief for the fallen dog, Ted buried it. Later, back inside, Ted stared at the wound on his neck. In that moment, he wanted to end his life. I was next door terrified something would happen to him.